What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday. Appreciate you taking the time here, hitting that like button, sharing, subscribing, all the things you're doing to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough, but we are continuing. It is draft season, so the draft series moves on to the defense. Hopefully you got to check out all the offensive videos, one through each position. Now we're going to do it with the defense. Tonight we're starting with the interior defensive line, and look, I've got a lot of info on a lot of these defensive players, but you guys have anything you want to add? Anybody you like or didn't see? I'd love to hear from you. Who you like in this draft for the Eagles. Doesn't have to be about this position, but we'll go through all the information you need to know right here, and then we'll get into my top fits. But let's jump right into this. Starting off with the Eagles 2025 draft picks. And look, we know that Howie Roseman, I saw like breaking news the other day, the Eagles could trade in the draft. Holy I didn't know, man. I had no idea that Howie Roseman was the GM and makes trades all the time. So we've got 8 picks in this draft, and first, second, third, fourth, and then 4 fifth-round picks. So if the Eagles want to trade up, trade back, do whatever they want, acquire maybe some 6th or 7th rounders, whatever they want, they can do it. And they don't just have those 8 picks this year. Once the draft begins, you can use next year and the following year's picks. So you got 26 total picks there, and I think we all know who Howie Roseman is and what he's capable of. So we've got some ammo here, and you don't have to just look. That's the great part about it. Like, oh, we don't have 6th or 7th round picks. I don't know what to do. And it's like, well, the Eagles can do whatever they please, and I promise you they can acquire some more. So we'll look at everybody, and we'll take a gander. But the interior defensive line is one of those positions I have ranked as, more of a need to get, some depth pieces here. We're not sure what's going to happen there with Milton Williams gone, but you can see I have them at number 4. Definitely looking to add to that position, but don't get me wrong. At the same time, I am a fan of what they have there. So clearly, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, yeah. But Moro Ajomo, Thomas Booker, Byron Young, Gabe Hall, who's going to step it up, be that other guy? And I think Milton Williams, a huge loss, but we all knew it was coming. He earned his money. Good for him. If, the Eagles think Ajomo's the future, awesome. But I still think we're going to add some competition there. That's just a matter of where and when. So, look, to me, I think that you could look anywhere. It's the Eagles. They are the Super Bowl champions. They have a roster that is built where you could take the best player available. And that's what the Eagles do. So I believe that's what they will do. So which of these guys is going to be available where? I have no idea. But I have my listings here. And look, I have these guys, the 6th, 7th, undrafted range. You like anybody here, let me know. You think somebody could go higher, Javari Ritzy, Simeon Barrow, whatever it is, there are some options there. You got Thor Griffith there. So you've got some options at that spot at the end of the draft. But, in rounds 4 and 5, round 3, even some of these guys, CJ West, Broughton, we got some really talented guys in this. Peebles, they could definitely go a little bit higher, but this is where I just have it ranked out. And, round 2 I just have, because I think some of these guys could be first rounders. Some of them could just fall. It really depends on how things shake out with the top 4 I have. But this is how I have it right now. And look, I change my mind all the time. So who knows where it would be by the time the draft gets there. You'll see my guys and all that great stuff coming up. But here are my day 1 guys. Mason Graham. Graham from Michigan. Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon, Kenneth Grant. You got some studs here. Very exciting players. I'm not so sure any of these guys are available when the Eagles pick, but maybe they trade up for somebody. So that's where my mind is with the interior defensive linemen, the D tackles, and obviously we run odd and even front. So these guys have different roles, certain players. So we're going to talk about that here with my top fits. Let me know who your top fits are, who you like the most. But I'm going to jump right into this, taking a look at the top fits here at interior defensive line for the Eagles. And we're going to start it off with somebody from the U, Simeon Barrow Jr., 6'3", 290. And look, this is one of those guys where he is that 3-tech defensive tackle. But I think, with his skill set, this is somebody, we're looking for guys that are good against the run. I'm always doing that. But this is somebody that I think he reads his block well. He gets off him pretty well. I think that he just got that tenacity I really like in players. But Not exactly a pass rushing type guy, when we talk about more of just like that 3 tech, but I heard things like, oh, his size. I don't think people understand in different systems. Like, this is a good size. 290, not a big deal at all. I think that he's somebody that is versatile, though, where we talk about being able to play in those odd and even fronts. So if he needs to play a little, defensive end in those odd fronts, essentially a D lineman, that is somebody I would definitely be okay with. I think Simeon Barrow is, he spent some time there at Michigan State before going to Miami. I think he would be a great addition here, and you wouldn't, have to take a high draft pick. I think if you trade back, you acquire some of these picks, maybe take them in the 5th, I'd be perfectly fine with it. And another player at the end of the draft that I think, Harrison Hunt. This is a kid, he actually another Miami Hurricane, graduated from SMU here, but a 4.8640. This kid, he's pretty athletic. This is what I'm looking for here, obviously. But, you're looking at somebody that is very versatile. He can line up at all kinds of different positions here. So another guy that, he can pass rush, 6'3", 290, same size, but he's got good instincts, gets off the snap a lot better than Barrow there, much better pass rusher there. So got him in front of there for a reason. He's got great hand usage. But one of those end, of the draft guys, I think he definitely needs some work. But with that versatility, the sky is the limit. Up next, I have TJ Sanders out of South Carolina here. And this is a dude, another 3 tech, 6'4", 297. And you can see, I think he's a little bit higher on people's list. He's very, very talented. So one of those just plays with that, tenacity that we're looking for. And he's got great flexibility. This is somebody that, can pass rush really well. I think he would fit pretty damn well in Vic Fangio's scheme, because he lines up all over from 0 to 5. He can do it. So if you've noticed a trend already, I'm looking for those guys, and I'll throw in a couple other. But he needs to work on his run stopping ability. That's why I've got him a little bit lower here on my list. So I got him at number 6 here. I think that a very talented guy. If you take him with that second pick at 64, maybe in the 3rd round, I'm not going to be mad at it at all. I think Sanders is a stud. So up here at number 5, getting into the top 5, this one, hear me out. So you're probably going to see Landon Jackson here listed as a defensive end, an edge guy, and rightfully so at that size, 264, 6'6". But I think you bulk this son of a bitch up, 4.6840. And this dude, you're talking about versatility. This is a guy, and with that size, that length, oh yeah, the way he plays, his hand technique, everything he does gets me excited. And thinking about, him being a 3 tech like those other guys, being able to play in the wide 9, this guy, another one that can line up all the way across the line. I think this is somebody that I would be ecstatic if you put him in the hands of Vic Fangio. This is a dude you could do so many things with. Play the end in those even fronts. You could play the end in the odd fronts. Play inside in the odd fronts. It's somebody I think would be awesome to have. And maybe I should be talking about him as an edge, but I'm seeing a Milton Williams. Now, Milton Williams, much smaller and, a little bit heavier. So I think you definitely would have to bulk him up, but I think this is the kind of kid that would fit perfectly into what we are doing here. So sign me right up. Might have to go 2nd, 3rd round for him, but I'd be all for Landon Jackson. And then up next, I got Gillott here, who Ashton Gillott is another guy that you would have to bulk him up, 6'3", 264. So these are, skinnier guys asking to be interior defensive linemen, but 4.63 speed. This is another one of those versatile pieces who lined up all across. Now, when you get to the NFL, you ain't exactly going to be able to do that all the time. But I'm telling you, this dude is strong as hell. He's fast as hell. This is somebody that you give to Vic Fangio and allow him to do his thing. I think he could fall a little bit, maybe the 3rd, 4th round. This would be somebody, oh my God, bulk him up. And this would be a steal, putting him in the middle there. But hey, maybe he pans out and is an edge guy. I just don't know that he is, with that arm length he has, I don't know that he is an edge in the NFL. And he's not exactly like the greatest pass rusher. I think as an interior guy, he would be considered a really good pass rusher. So that's just my thoughts on him. You can let me know how you feel, but I would like Ashton Gillott as a project here. All for it. Then up next, you've got Vernon Broughton out of Texas. And now this is not exactly, this is more of your D tackle. He can play a little nose tackle too, so he is versatile. He can play your 0 tech to the 3 tech, and for his size, he's actually fast as shit. 4.940, but the dude moves. Watch him. But he's got that high motor. He's got great outside leverage. I think that this dude, just watching him, how quick he is for that size, that makes it just fun in itself. But he is one of those dudes that has that versatility we're looking for. That is the name of the game. Only thing about Broughton, I would love him in that range, the 4-5 range. If he could just work on his hands and he could work on his run stopping, I think that this dude, he just needs a little bit of coaching here, and he would be a great pick. So I would be all for adding someone like Vernon Broughton onto this team. Now, up next, I have myself a little, and look, I wanted to actually put him at number 1. I'm just trying to think of where the Eagles should go, what they should do. I'm not sure Darius Alexander is going to be there. I'm not sure Walter Nolan, any of those guys will be available. If they want to trade up, hell yeah. But 6'4", 305 pounds. He has 4.9540 there. And he's just an athlete, dude. And this is somebody that, I think could work on his tackling. He's good against the run, just needs to work on some things. But he is explosive as hell, powerful, and another versatile guy where you can line him up all the way from 0 to 5. This dude, putting him with Jalen Carter, that would be a dream come true. And hey, he's from Toledo, so maybe a friend of Quinyon Mitchell's, a former teammate there. But I just think he's got to work on his hands. He could definitely work on his pass rush a little bit there. But overall, a great player here. And I think that this is somebody that the Eagles would be ecstatic to have. And I know I sure as hell would be too. But don't know. Maybe there's some other positions that, you like before that. So that's where I kind of got like, So I put this guy at number 1 just so I can feel a little bit better here about my fit. So Aeneas Peebles here, and I know he's only 6 foot, but he's 282 pounds at 6 foot. I see him going with one of those final picks we have in the 4th, 5th round. Maybe he goes in the 3rd. If other people are watching him like I have been, I would take him higher. And if the Eagles do, not going to be mad at it if they take him in that 3rd round. But this is your, perfect 3 tech defensive tackle where, you add someone like him. This is exactly what we're looking for. Violent hands. Notice I've said that about all these guys because I'm always looking for certain things. And, this is somebody that he's actually a high IQ football player. I just think he lacks, having, that size, 6 foot, not having the longest of arms. He's got to, be inside, and he's got to be able to pass rush a little bit better. But, dude, to me, this kid is one of those, he's not on that list of like freak list athletes, but 4.940, just the way he moves, like his spin move, he's got it all. He's got the whole, tank here. And I think that for me, he can run over a lot of people already, but, I think I'm looking more for him over Jackson because I can get him in a lower round. He's got a little bit of work to do, but this is the kind of dude would be perfect to line up with Jalen Carter. He's got that, versatile skill set that we're talking about where, I think for me, getting just a role because you have a nose tackle, you have Jalen Carter who can line up all over the place. So you don't have to be versatile. But to me, I think Peebles, just where I think he could get drafted, would be a perfect fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. But Jackson, man, it's like a 1A, 1B for me because I'm a really big fan of Jackson and would be ecstatic to have him here. But that's all I've got for you here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully going to be back live later tonight. Got a little funeral thing to go to, what do they call it when you do whatever. But yeah, I've got some things to do. Gonna get home, try to do the live video. I appreciate you all taking the time. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share this bad boy. Subscribe down below. But we'll be getting into the edge guys this weekend. Then next week, we'll lead into linebackers, corners, and safeties. Then we'll give you all the stuff you need to know. The draft, less than 2 weeks away. Let's effing go. But I hope you're all having a great week. Hopefully you're ready for this weekend. But that's all I've got for you. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. Always here for you guys, as you are for me. I love each and every one of you. Have yourselves a great Friday. But until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!